All right, guys, I'm going to show you the full teleconference of Tony Romo quitting the NFL right after I'm done talking. So I'm not going to talk that long, and I'm going to show you right to the video. Tony Romo, he officially quit from the NFL. He's retired but unretired. He did not file his retired papers, but certainly he's quitting the NFL. He's taking a job with CBS, and he's going to be the #1 commentator in place of Phil Simms, announcing football games on television. That's what Tony Romo decided to do. So tell me your thoughts on do you think this was handled bad by Jerry Jones? How about the Houston Texans? Do you think they should have traded for him? I mean, the Texans have a pretty good offense. They have 2 great receivers, and their defense is superb. They just don't have a quarterback. So Tony Romo, he talks about the Houston Texans. He brings them up in this teleconference. Now understand, the first half of this video is going to be kind of muffled. It's a teleconference. He did not go on public TV and talk about retirement because officially he's not retired. He can be signed by any NFL football team, but he got a pretty good deal by CBS. They offered him a really good deal. He's replaced Phil Simms. So that voice that you're hearing, he's playing the role of he's taking the role of John Madden pretty much, for the most part, for those people. So it is an end of an era for Dallas. And also fans of Tony Romo, if you're in your 20s or even in your 30s, your low 30s possibly, it is an end of an era. So guys, tell me what you think and enjoy the video. The teleconference, I should say. Let's get right to it.
In this process to kind of go through, like you just talked about, figuring out if I wanted to play football or go into broadcasting, and it was a very difficult decision. I went back and forth many times, but there were many reasons basically that I felt this was the right decision, and it really had nothing to do with the Texans. It had everything to do with CBS and the team that they have, the ability to work alongside of Jim Nance, and just knowing what I wanted to do the next, 15, 20, 30 years. And I really felt as though it was the right decision at this time, and I'm really excited about the new challenge ahead. It's something that I didn't come to this conclusion lately, and I think that my wife would tell you that we've had a lot of late nights and time going back and forth on a lot of different things, and it was nice just to have some clarity recently, and I'm excited. It's going to be something that's going to be a great challenge for me to have to learn this craft. Gets me, excited to get up and go attack it, and I hope that I'm able to make the CBS family proud of their decision.
Well, that being said, what do you think Houston should do at quarterback now?
I would love to pretend that I'm the GM for the Houston Texans, but since I'm not, I'm gonna let you guys Kim that question. I was just trying to make the best decision possible for me and my family, and obviously Houston was at the top of the list of teams, that I looked at.
Thank you.
Mike Leslie with WFAA TV Dallas.
The players in the field are what makes this game go. I understand that. It's not about the rest of us. But my hope is to come out and hopefully make it enjoyable to watch, teach the game a little bit, and maybe tap into a few things that I can bring that hopefully people can enjoy. And as far as the difficulty of coming right in and being a lead analyst, I don't think it's going to be easy. I'm expecting it to be difficult. No different than when I came to the NFL to be a quarterback. But I think that, like anything in life, if you go attack it and wake up every day and, give everything you got, if you have any ability at all, you're gonna at least achieve your potential. And really, that's all you're trying to do over and over again is figure out how to basically reach your potential in whatever field you go into in life. Some of us are more talented than others, and that's just the way that God blesses some people. And in some ways I'm completely and extremely blessed. In other ways I got to fight my butt off to get to a point to where other guys it comes natural. And different people have different skill sets, and I feel like I got to go attack this just like football and see where I'm good and see where I'm not. And then, the one thing I've always felt like if there's a strength of mine, it's my ability to learn. And if I'm not very good right away, my hope is it doesn't take too long. And if I'm not, I can promise you I'll be spending, 20 hours a day trying to figure it out, and I'll be analyzing it all the time. And so, that's the approach I'm going to take, and I think that gives me the best chance to succeed.
We'll next go to Barry Horn with Dallas Morning News.
Yes, hi. Two questions for Tony. Tony, did you talk to any other networks about a possible broadcasting job? And would you have gone to CBS for anything less than to be the number one analyst?
Yeah, I did talk to other networks, and, I want to thank them as well. Right throughout this process, and, it came to the decision of working with an incredible team. I felt a real connection with the CBS group, and I just felt at this time that the opportunity to work with them is just it's really a gift and a privilege. And the more I just thought about it and prayed about it, it just started to feel right. And I think that you could say that's about the people, you could say it's about the history. I wish I had an exact definitive comment on why, but it really just started to become a feeling. And the opportunity to work with Jim, who's as good as anybody in the game at what he does, and has been for as long as I can remember. I think that's helped push CBS probably up a little bit, and I think that it's exciting. It's exciting to do something that is a challenge that I'm going to have to go compete at and work at right away. It reminds me really of my rookie year, where you really don't know anything. You're walking into a brand new situation, and you can kind of play the game. I can kind of talk, but this is a completely different world. And for me, there's a lot of subtlety involved, just like playing the quarterback position. And you have to go figure what the difference is and how to succeed in that. And, I like that challenge. I think it's going to be enjoyable trying to, be great at something. And I've had that in football for, 20 years basically now. And, in some ways, I'm getting a little off topic, but, Sean earlier talked about that young man. And it kind of made me chuckle when I was listening, because I'm going from being the old man, all of a sudden being the young man. And I know you guys are all chuckling on the other line, but I can't hear you, so I just appreciate that joke for a second. And then from there, I think, it's exciting. And it's just something I'm pumped to get started.
And would you have gone to CBS for anything other than the number one booth?
I never really thought about anything other than, because that was the offer from them comparatively. That was obviously a big draw. But it never entered my mind to think about whether I would or wouldn't have. So hypothetically, I don't know. I mean, we could talk about a lot of hypotheticals, but I just don't feel like that ever came into my mind either way. And I just think I like CBS, and it was good.
Thank you.
We'll next go to Bob Reisman with New York Daily News.
Hey, Sean, you said you were discussing with Phil a future role. Could you be more specific what you might have for him, offer to him? And obviously, I guess I'm assuming he's under contract. How long is he under contract for?
Yeah, Bob, don't want to get into the specifics of the contract. He is under contract to us right now.
That'll fit perfectly, but how do you know what Tony's style is at this point?
Just from lots of conversations with him, listening to him talk, knowing what kind of personality he has. knowing the way he expresses himself. And obviously, Bob, you know as well as I do, we're not going to know for sure until he's side by side with Jim in the announce booth.
You were talking earlier about going back and forth on this decision. Can you walk us through that a little bit? Just the quality of life versus the competitive fire you can only get by being on the field, and how you weigh that going back and forth, and a little bit of what that process was like. And the second part following up on that is, whenever a top athlete goes out of the game, especially at this position, people are always wondering, well, the first guy that goes down, is he going to come back? Can you address that as well?
Yeah, first, I'd asked David to get the 55th question, so I don't know how he got the 5th, but congratulations, David. I do think, no, those are good questions. I mean, I don't know that the competitive fire ever is going to go away. For athletes, that's going to be there, and that's, probably something that, Troy Aikman, Chris Collinsworth, Phil Sims still fight to this day. And I think we all understand there's a shelf life. But as we learned with Brett Favre, that shelf life obviously can obviously take on a life of its own. But I also would argue that, for me, I'm a person who really likes to attack things. I like to basically, when I go want to be great at something, I throw everything into it. And I really can't sleep at night. Like if I'm not a good, broadcaster, it's going to be very difficult. And like Sean had already said, there's a chance, as I get up there and all of a sudden you're not very good, well, it's going to be a lot of people are counting on you to do something well. And I think that weighs on you, and that's what makes you want to be good. As far as the process of, how this all went, I feel like, for me, it's just, I just know when you make big decisions in life, you just want to soak in them. You just want to, take your time and let it play out. Emotionally, you're going to go through a wide, just a million really different types of feelings, and from one week to the next, and you're just not in a situation to control that until you kind of get removed. For me, the obvious one is removed from the season, the situation, everything that happened, and the good things that happened, the bad things. Of all that, you just got to get away from it, and then you got to start to really think about your core values, what's important to you, and what's I have a family, I got kids, and is this going to be fulfilling? If this wasn't something that I was excited about, or I didn't think that I really wanted to do, I wouldn't be making this decision. This is a decision that I come to because I'm excited about this craft. I'm excited about trying to be really good at this. I understand the challenges ahead. I also understand that it can be pretty fun trying to attack something and do something at a high level. And if you're not very good, I can tell you I won't be sleeping very well. So I think that when it just came through and the months passed and, soaking in it and thinking about it and just constantly evaluating, it started to make itself clear just through conversation, through communication with the people I trust, and just all of a sudden as it got closer, the CBS team started really stand out and just, when I dug and did my research on them, there were a lot of things that just were special. You're talking to some of the, when you talk in the business, some of the most loyal group of people that, are involved in the network business. And I just generally felt a pride, the more I heard about them and the excitement level that came with that. So, there's always going to be feelings that you're going to have as a player, but as long as you have something to go attack and that you enjoy and that you really care about being good at, you're never going to get the same feeling as being on the field before a game. But at the same time, I would argue that you can get a different feeling and be every bit as fulfilled, especially when it's the game that I love. I'm very passionate about this game, and I have a funny feeling I'm going to really enjoy working with this craft very similarly to what I did when I was on the football field.
All right, that's Tony Romo.